Well, I'm here at Razor Ridge Park today, going to try to see if there's any trout still left over here. Looking over at the pond, I can see there's bluegills in the water, but I don't see any fish close to the shore, but that doesn't mean that they still don't exist. Anyhow, this is more of a fun fish day. Might try out my ultralight lures that I used in my last video, just to see if anything hits. A little school of bluegills over here, that's kind of cool. I might play with them later on, but looking for bigger fish for now. So it's 105 degrees and getting warmer, I should say hotter. So not sure how long my camera is going to hold up, so it could be a very short day. Either way, it's still a day at fishing, so I'm not going to complain, though I'm hoping I'll be able to at least present something in the video as far as some fish catches. We'll see what happens. Starting off with the Bitsy Pond Minnow. One, I know it can get down further if I keep my rod tip down. I'm hoping that since it can go to about 5 feet, I might be able to attract some fish that are deeper in the pond. I'm not going to spend too much time using this just because if it is really hot and the trout can't breathe, they're not going to chase something that's fast moving. So I may have to switch to either a float and fly or something else that's a little slower that they would be happy to go after. You may have seen me. I'm going to switch to this Cajun spin. Oh, there's another bass right there. There's 2 of them. So this Cajun spin is what I used over at Springs Pond. Let's see if it attracts any strikes. All right. That wasn't effective. The bass is still there. Could be looking for a big mouthful so that it feeds itself as opposed to chasing something small and using up its energy for something small. Found my glide bait, so going to try it. This is definitely the wrong fishing rod for this, but I'm using 4-pound test on a medium light rod, but it's what I have, and again, just use what I can use. Let's see what happens. Well, no luck with that one, so I will switch to my stick bait. I know the bass is still there, but not very interested in my lures right now. Well, I'm trying a gulp 4-inch earthworm on a 32nd ounce jig head, just kind of hopping it off the bottom, hoping that that stirs up something. Not sure if it will, but going to try. Well, there's a lot of bluegills deeper out, so that means that the fish out there have food to eat, which means that they could possibly be just sitting there as opposed to hunting here. Don't really know until I actually catch something, but going to keep trying this since I know that there's something that can hit it. Yeah, I can feel the bluegills pecking at it. The question is, can I get something bigger to bite it and eat it? That's interesting. This bluegill over here, not sure if you can see it, but this bluegill over here is still on the bed, and so is that one. I didn't realize that they would spawn this late in the season, but there are a few. It looks like 3 beds just in this area alone. Actually, there's one. There's probably 4 over there. Yeah, 6. So that's interesting that they're continuing to spawn this late in the season. There's a lot of little guys. It's interesting how they always grab the back end and then they pull on it. Okay, I'm gonna cast this earthworm out about 2.5 feet underneath the surface using a bobber. Let's see what happens if anything hits it at that depth. I'm hoping, my thought here is that if the fish has to come up from the bottom to get it, that it's going to commit rather than just pecking at it. And my hope is that it's a bigger fish. There's a pretty little koi fish. Might be about 10 to 12 inches long. Just sitting there. Well, I just had a small bass, I say small, probably about 9 to 10 inches, follow my slider, and unfortunately I ran out of space or water to keep reeling it in, so he ended up turning away and leaving. But it does tell me that they are able to chase it. Now, I ended up casting it right here in the shallows, and it came out from under the shade, so something to consider. I didn't even see it. I just decided to go ahead and cast like this, and then I just started reeling in. I saw some bluegills follow it, and then all of a sudden it came out and decided to start following it. So keep that in mind when you're fishing. You may not be able to see where they are, and you just got to cast to logical places. Well, that's enough for today as far as testing out the waters for bass. That one over there, so that's kind of cool. I didn't catch any today, but I'm just going to go ahead and have some fun with the bluegills again, as always, and then call it a day. But Razor Ridge is not what it was before. It's definitely a lot harder, at least during the middle of the day. Morning time might actually be quite good, considering there was a bass in the shallow. So I might try that this weekend if I have the time. Wow, they are aggressive, these little bluegills. Look at that. They're just swarming. I wish you could see what I actually see on the water. They're swarming in like a school of maybe 20 to 30 in that one little spot. So, little bluegill. There he is. There they are again. Put it in the same spot. And there he is. Didn't even set the hook on there. Nope. There he is. Wish there was a place I can relocate that koi to, if I can, or if there was a place, I would go ahead and try to get it and find it a new home. There he is. Oh, what's that? Is that a bass? Can't get to it from here. I think it is. Oh, it's a little fish. He's been on there this whole time. I was trying to figure out why I can't control it. There's the bass. See if that bass is still there. Oh, there it is. Oh, and see, there's the other bass right there. But see, there's this bass. I'm not going home empty-handed. This is nice. Okay, so this bass looks like it has eggs. I wonder what that's all about. There we go. Got another bass. So, not getting skunked on the bass. That was just really hard. And that was caught on the new lure that I just tried last weekend. And that's the Charlie Brewer slider grub. So my time invested in trying out the new lure has actually paid off. Caught that one on a straight retrieve. It just must have bit the lure because it just felt like it was dead weight on the line. So now I know at least that's one practical way to fish this. I wonder if they're getting stirred up by the wind. Yay, the sun came out, so it's hotter. We're getting hotter again, so I think I'll just have a few more fish, maybe lose this bait and one other, and then call it a day. Oh, look at that little guy. There he goes. Bye-bye. There we go. Ouch. There it is. This guy wants me to pay for catching him. There he is. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. And that other bluegill just finished getting it, but I had just caught him because he had my gulp earthworm in his mouth and he just spat it out. Once again, I try to cast and a little bluegill ends up grabbing the line or the hook. All right, that's gonna be the last guy for today. Well, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed catching a bass before leaving. Anyhow, this is now a more difficult pond to fish, and again, that could be in the middle of the day. It was 105 when I first got here. I suspect it could be a lot hotter right now, but still a good pond to go to and try to catch fish if you're up for the challenge. If you're looking at just having fun and catching fish, I would recommend going for the bluegills or trying a different pond. I'm going to try some of the other ponds later on to see what their conditions are like, but Razor Ridge, not so good during the middle of the day. So before I left, I heard a little splash from where I was at, and this guy ends up catching this 4-pound, 12-ounce largemouth bass over here, and it was measured in at 19 inches. So really nice bass. Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, dude, this is the best. This is the best birthday gift ever.